This is an 8-inch sign we'll be putting in the middle. We're doing the wreath petal for the wreath petals. Okay, so I'll show you what I did to make this petal right here. I did cut this at 10 by 10 and a half to get that perfect square, because this mesh is 10 and a half by 10 yards. It's a jute poly mesh. It has the gold running through it. This is how I made those petals. So I just flatten this down. I pin the corners over here so they won't move on me once I ruffle the petal right here in the middle. This is how I do mine, so I can try to make the petals as perfect as I can. So just gonna cut that in the middle. Okay, and I put an elastic. So I put an elastic right around it. Okay, so put the other one, the other elastic around it. All right, so there's the wreath petals. You get 2 in one 10-inch kit. Here's show you how I did it again one more time, and we'll just go ahead and start putting the petals onto the board. And put elastic bands. So here's the sign again. This sign came from uniqueinthecreek.com. It's an 8-inch aluminum sign. So I did attach the cable mount in the back with E6000 and the pipe cleaner as well to put it onto the board once all the petals are in there. Here's the what I'm planning to do. Because there's a little bit of gold in there, right? So this is where the gold comes in this jute. And then there's black and brown and sort of a cream color. So here's the brown and the cream, but I didn't want to add black. And I thought I'd add a pop of pink in there and zip it up, and this poly jute all the way around is what I'm thinking. Oops. Keeping in mind that my manufactured edges are what I'm seeing, not the cut edges. Okay, so that's why that's a must. So the wreath will look uniformed and much more neater. So you'll hide the cuts so they won't fray as much. So one petal in each set of holes on row 2. right, so we put this one first, and we'll put the, so I went the glittery gold and the cream, brown, pink, so we'll add this one in there now. Right here, so I'll cut these out first. Okay. So I'm just gonna put this under, like that. Or was it like that? Oh, like this. Yeah, right there. So we'll add the jute with the gold in. Okay, I think that's all. So we need to move. All right, so we'll find the hanging hose. They're up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a zip tie right away. I'm just going to add the side right in the middle. Right. And there it is. Is the Unique in the Creek large board that we're using. I'm just gonna go ahead and put the zip tie in there. So this is the flat side of the zip tie. This is, I call it the bumpy side and the flat side. So flat side always points up towards the ceiling, so you can load up your board the right way, which is going through one hole and coming up the other. And with this, I'm gonna zip it just a little bit. So what I think, I'm gonna do something a little different here. I usually do flower petals, just flower petals with the sign, but I'm gonna add a touch of ribbon on not all of the outer ones, but every other. So right here, I'm just gonna cut 8 inches. So 8 inches, right? I did cut one. So I'm just gonna add one little bit, I will use my measure buddy, because this is 8 inches right here. Yeah. So I'll just use this. And this is a measure buddy, again, from uniqueinthecreek.com. So we need 7. An 8-inch tail, just one. I'm just gonna fold it, and I'm just gonna, usually we cut it like this with a duck tail, but I'm gonna cut it this way this time, so you get that pointed edge. Okay? Let's fold the petal. This petal right here, I'll show you a couple of times how I did that petal. So I'll get a 10 by 10 cut wood burned mesh, curled side up, turn it into a diamond, and I'm just gonna fold it this way, flatten it out. I'm not sure why these aren't okay. All right, so I'm just gonna ruffle it up. That's the petal we'll be using on the outside. Okay, so there are 16 set of holes on the second row, and I'm gonna alternate. So if I go ahead and put this, so how am I gonna do this? So if I put the ribbon right there with the petal, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm just gonna put this petal right there, as well as the 8-inch cut ribbon together. So I just thought 8" it's a good size, but maybe a 6". We'll see. We'll cut it down if it's a little too long. If I think it's a little too long and flimsy, but I think it's gonna look good. So that's what I'm gonna do all the way around. So I'm just gonna add just this in there now. No ribbon tail. Just about a fingertips width of the nub in there. Okay. Looks good. I think it looks good. So here's the petal. Again, this mess I cut with the rotary cutter, so it will fray a little bit, but I'll be gentle with it, and so it won't fray as much. So here we go. So I'm just going to take this end, put it down over here, and here what I usually do to keep those lined up is I put a clip, so to be a little bit try to make perfect petals. And I'm just gonna wrap these around like that and put a clip on that. But this mess is so thick that my clips won't hold very well, but I'll try to put them in there as harder as I can. So again, I'm just making sure my manufactured edges are on the same side, right this way and this way. So always keep that in mind. So I'll show you what I mean here. So if I were to fold it upward like that, 2, 3, 4. You see what I mean? This edge over here, it's not the manufactured edge, so I'm doing it wrong. So the other way, this way. Just one in each. Zip that up again, about a thumb's width in there. The knob, I mean, into the zip tie. So we're just gonna add these. I'm not gonna add any ribbon tails on the 4th row. Okay. Let's add the sign in there, Sally. All right. And this, okay, these right up here on top, these two side-by-side holes are the hanging holes. So I use zip ties when I hang them up to hang. And this is a pretty sign for. So the way I set up my oval board is, I'll flip it over in the back, so that's my setup. So we can see on the inner, I did every other, and on the outer, I did every other. From the first hole to the end of the board. 20 inches. So ruffles, we're doing ruffles. So let's get started. I'm just ruffling it up in the middle. So I just pin it. I'll do another one. This is the top right up here. Sorry, this is the top. So I'm just gonna put a ruffle in there as well as 2 ribbon. So I'm thinking I want to put these ones with the red, these 2 with the red. Okay. So the top, starting the top. So I'm just gonna angle it out like that, and I'll put the actually no, I'll just put in the mesh and then I'll add the ribbon after. How's that? So this way I won't confuse myself, because I did only cut 5/8 of these ribbon and 5/8 of these, so I'll be going every other with the ribbon as well. So but let's add the mesh in there first and then we'll see. So I'll be alternating the colors. I thought that this look would be pretty, so I'm just alternating them because I've never tried this before and thought it'd look good. So I'm just gonna put that in there really tight. Going into the inner, there's 10 pipe cleaners on the inside as well. So let's get to it. So I'm just gonna put it right here. Doesn't matter where. right. That's looking good. I like that. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Let's add the ribbon in there. Let's hold up the sign and see how it will look. Where did I put it? Right here. Ooh, isn't that cute? I like that. Maybe down here and put a bow up here. Something like a little different. Because I always put it in the middle. But it looks good in the middle when you have this big of a sign. So we'll see. So let's add the ribbon in there. I was thinking I'm going to add the ribbon, these ribbon on the red. So I like this ribbon. Conversation hearts, is it? These are called. Has missed you, be mine, hot stuff, love you, hey babe, cutie pie, dream big, text me. So all these little conversation hearts, so cute. So let's add the ribbon in there. These ribbon are cut at 14 inches. So these are 1.5 that I'm using. So I think I'll put these on the pink, mesh. I'll cut the pipe cleaners off as I go, as we're not adding anything else in there. I forgot to put a garbage bag on my trash can here. So I'm gonna have to put all the, the garbage, the pipe cleaners on the side over here. So with the red, I'm gonna put these two on the red. So just adding in the ribbon now. So that's how they look with, so pretty. There's the wreath with all the ribbon tails on the outside. Let's see about the sign. Here's the. So I was just gonna add this in there, in the middle, and add a bow. Let's make a bow. The ribbon. This is where I have. Oops, not this one. This is where I have tough choice in which one goes at the bottom, but I'm thinking this one. Oh yeah. So put that at the bottom. 12-inch tail. Sorry. So 8-inch tail. I'll go up. Let's add this one in there now. So add an 8-inch tail. Or is it a 12? It's a 12-inch tail. A 6-inch loop again. This one ends up being 8 inches. This one goes up, this one goes down. Yes. There you go. So let's add the polka dot one. So a 12-inch tail. Five and a half, yeah. Just slightly a little smaller than the the loops that are in there. So 5 and a half. Conversation Hearts ribbon will be the main focal point on this bow. So no, this way, my friends. So we'll do 12-inch tail. So this one will be the same size as the last loop that's in there. Out. That'll be all that's gonna be. I'd add more layers in there of the same kind of ribbon, but This looks good just as it is. Okay, see that? Isn't that nice? I like how that looks. So you can just, you know, fan out your tails so that it'll be curvy. So let's add it onto the wreath as well, excuse me, as well as the sign. We'll find the top first. Always find the top. It's up here. So let's add it in there. Here it is, my friends. There's the sign. I'm just going to add the bow down in there. So I'll add the bow right there. Haha, gotcha. The bow is easy. Oops, don't want it to sink in too much. Give some little bit of your love onto those ribbon tails. Here you go. So let's see where I need to add the ribbon tails. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe five. We'll cut 3 each, and we'll see. Okay, good. And we'll add the ribbon in there. So, okay. So let's add these first. Polka dots and the conversation hearts. I'll just add them in here. Did I add these on the pink? Yes, I did. To put the hanging zip tie up in there at the top where the hanging holes are over here. All right, so I need to fix these. When I fix them up, I hang the wreath on the door, and that's where the tails get fixed. For this project, you need 12 pieces of the red burlap and 20 of the black and white check burlap. Okay, here's the sign. Preload the board here. I just loaded eight of the on the second row, and on the third row be using the 8 set of holes as well. Let's go ahead and preload them. Okay, so let's roll up a few of the petals and then we'll get started. I serged edges. This is cut at 10 by 10, by the way. Is it? Yepper. So 10 by 10, curve side up, right? Turn it into a diamond. I serged my manufactured edges at the. It doesn't matter with this petal though, but just this is always what I do. So this corner right in the middle, see? Are you guys seeing this okay? So going towards the middle, and this one towards the middle, just overlapping just a little bit, like that. See that? And then again, oh, It's lots of folding with this petal here, friends. So this one, you go fold it over, right? And you take this one and you fold it, okay? And you get those shapes. You don't have to be really perfect with this fold, because in the end it'll look so pretty. So again, we fold it over again, lots of folds. It does make a difference with the roll petal that I usually do. It doesn't make the look a little different. When I do this style, I check myself. So okay, so with this petal, I flip it. I flip it like that. And what I do here now is make sure my tips are lined up over here, because that's important. Okay, and that'll be our petal all the way around. Make 34 pieces. One roll of mesh for this project, all together with the red and this black and white. Okay, that's the petal. Let's make a few more. Maybe I should add some of these in there now so you guys can see what it'll look like. What I did is I did add 2 petals. The reason for that is coverage. Like that, down. Okay, I just add 2 in a zip tie like that. Close the zip tie up. And that's how that will look. Isn't that cute? The folds will be down like that, but with the next row they'll be up. So, okay, so here we go. Just about a thumb's width of the knob, they say, in there. You see that? So right here with row 3, we'll be adding the petals, 1 each, like this. Okay? 1 each. Just 1 each, my friends. See how Add some zip ties in the middle. Add the black and white. You'll see where the top is. It's up here. So I'm gonna add the black and white on these 4 zip ties. I'll load the zip ties again in between the zip ties already, 4 of them. So this right here, what I'm doing when I'm adding these, this zip tie in there is called serred holes. So I'll be adding the red the same way as I added these ones up here. The same. Okay, let's close those up. It is good coverage. Okay. So the folded side up this time for this red one. The hanging zip tie. It says up here. A cable tie mount in the back with 36,000, a little bit of hot glue, and add the sign in there, making sure the top is up here over here on when you add your sign. It's Elizabeth with Crafty Liz CreeAtions. Today we'll be making a wreath on the character board using the Unique in the Creek vinyl. It's vinyl number 1004. And first of all, we're going to add the vinyl onto the character board. And how we're going to do that is I'm going to wet the character board right around where I'm gonna place the vinyl. Give it a little wipe with a wet towel. So I'm gonna grab the vinyl, peel it off off from the bottom. Ooh, threw that away. We're just gonna grab the vinyl, hold it in the middle, fold it up like a taco, like that. Make sure it's in the middle. Kind of shaky. And place it. Nope, the first try is always a no. And what that water down there does is it helps the vinyl peel off easily. That's what that water is for. And yes, that's good. The Unique in a Creek squeegee, you use it from the felt side over here. You press it down. Get all those air bubbles out in the water. And I grab not this much. I grab a dry paper towel and I wipe that down. Like pipes pressure when you do that. There we go. That's easy enough. And I always turn the board around to wipe it in the back as well. And as well as on my cutting board. Let me show you the mess. Here's the mess. I am using black mess. And I'm using this 50-yard roll of ribbon with red and black, gray, and white buffalo check hearts. That's what I'm using to make the Gigi petal. I'm gonna show you how I folded this petal, this Gigi petal with the ribbon. So I grab a 10 by 10 cut mesh. I cut it with a rotary cutter, and I grab an 8-inch piece of 1.5 inch ribbon. Find the middle for this one first. Oh, grab a 4-inch zip tie and a clip. Okay, I grab this, put it curved side up, turn it into a diamond, and I grab this point and put it down to that point. This is the Gigi petal. And I grab this tip and I make sure that it's under this fold up in here. Not over, but under, just under it. Place my hand right there at the tip and I fold it over. So that's your Gigi petal right there. But Gigi petal using the ribbon. I'm going to cut this off because I don't need it. How much do I cut off? About 5 inches off of the tail that I cut. So now I'm going to grab this 1.5 inch ribbon, cut at 8 inches again, and I place it right there where the middle, where the fold was of the ribbon, and I fold it over on top the Gigi petal, and then I pinch these together, pin it, make sure this is in the middle, and I put a 4-inch zip tie around it. Okay. So that's your Gigi petal with the ribbon. Okay, so let me make another one. 10 by 10 cut mesh. let's grab our wreath board, our zip ties, and we'll go ahead and start placing the petals onto the board. I'm going to start adding the petals on the inside, going this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load the board on the 3rd row hole and the middle hole. So that's where I'll be placing all my petals. And so let's start that and see what it will look like. So I am going to have to cut the zip ties as I go because they'll be in the way of the next petal placement. So what I make sure when I add my petals is the zip tie, the 4-inch zip tie, goes inside the, I make sure it goes inside the, this zip tie here. And so that creates a little stop if somebody accidentally pulls on the petal. So this is a cute. The last one for row 3 and 4. 3 and 2. 3 and 4, no. Okay. So that's how that looks with the, I like that look. Now we're adding the rest of the GG petals on row 1 and 2. Or, yeah, 1 and 2. So that's where I'm adding the zip tie. I'll leave it open. So we're going on the other direction for this one now. So we're going this way. I hope it. So I hope it covers pretty good, which I think it will. Yeah, I should have done that outside row first and then in on the inside. Yeah. What do you guys think? So there's 2 of them that I added. You can't see the zip ties, but I think that looks good. Let's keep adding the rest in there. So that looks good, I think. Look, it's different. Last one in there. So I just grabbed it here and nothing happens. It just stays in there because of that 4-inch zip tie that's in there. Yay me! So last one. So I lift up everything and place it under there and zip it up. Make sure my zip tie is in there. Yep, good. Alrighty. So there it is with all the petals in there. So let's make a little, like a splash bow on here using these. Sort of grab the, it's too big. Oh, okay, let's cut this at 7 inches. Yeah, a bow probably would look good. So that's 1. And 14 inches. I set it down this. Oh, better be careful with this here. So 3. So I need 3 of these. I thought I would place one down in there somewhere. So I think I'm going to leave it like this.